We begin this hour in Abuja, where the ruling All Progressives Congress is asking the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to accept defeat from the February the 25th presidential election. The latest call is contained in a statement by APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka, who described Mr. Atiku's speech during his press conference earlier today as, quote, a long, windy, incoherent and preposterous, unbefitting of a former vice president, end quote. The statement adds that it is delusional for Mr. Atiku to have expected the courts to rely on their bogus, flimsy, unverifiable, uncorroborated, illogical and hearsay evidence to upturn an election that was conducted in substantial compliance with the Constitution and electoral laws. The party asked him to stop denying and disrespecting the collective will of Nigerians, disparaging the judiciary and inciting rage. Let's now bring in the APC National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka. He joins us live via Zoom from Abuja for more on the party's position on Mr. Atiku's earlier comments. Good to have you join us, Mr. Felix Morka.
Thank you for having me.
It will seem as though your party is surprised by that statement coming from the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Were you expecting him to congratulate the president?
No, we're not surprised by the statement offered by the former Vice President, the candidate of the PDP in the last election. But we're disappointed that even at this late hour, when every Nigerian is embraced the reality of the outcome of that election, someone of his stature is still in denial, still making statements as though the election were yesterday. I mean, it wasn't yesterday. The election is, many months ago, and the, Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal has ruled on this matter, and the matter has also been ruled upon by the Supreme Court. That's the final court of our land. So for someone in his position to be disparaging the judiciary, completely vilifying every democratic institution in our country, that's beyond the pale. We thought that was just wrong. I mean, you can expect that from someone who is just a newcomer to the political circuit, but not someone who has served this country in that capacity. So yes, we are disappointed. And I thought personally that he lost, a very good opportunity to extend his congratulations to the president on his electoral victory.
He said he made a statement that is now trending, and a lot of people have different interpretations to that statement. But I want to get from you how your party is interpreting that particular statement, where he said he's not going anywhere.
Well, quite frankly, we're not in the business of interpreting, some illogical statements made by Atiku Abubakar. He's a Nigerian. We hope that he remains in Nigeria and that he doesn't jet off to Dubai, where he has spent a lot of his later years away from the country. If that's what he meant, that he's going to remain, then that's wonderful. So hopefully someday he will begin to realize that his time as a citizen is better spent helping the government and helping the people of Nigeria to navigate through the challenges that we face. But if he meant by that he plans to remain in politics, he's also very welcome. But I think that after so many tries and failure to achieve his political and presidential ambition, I would hope that at his age, he will realize that the best of his political life is already beyond him. That's my hope. But of course, he's a citizen and he's free to make his own decisions the way he deems fit.
Perhaps one of the biggest statements he made in that speech was when he called for rotational presidency and constitutional amendment that would allow the country to have that kind of a presidency where it rotates one term, 6 years, around all geopolitical zones. Is that something your party would support if that was to be tabled at or put forward at the National Assembly?
Look, Mr. Abubakar has the right to offer his ideas and his thoughts on how he envisions a democracy to run and to operate. That's within his right as a citizen. And that idea is not new. It's not saying anything that's new. People have, through the years, made a lot of recommendations for the reform of our constitutional democracy. So that's fine. But I mean, he knows exactly what to do. We have a National Assembly. Those ideas, when the time comes for some reform of, our constitution, he's welcome to, present memos and detail his ideas for reform. But, again, I think that if he had won the election, I doubt that he'll be advocating a single, 6-year term. He'll probably be, eager and happy to look at the prospect of doing his 2 4-year term of 8 years in total. But, that didn't happen. So, yes, now he thinks himself to be a genius to recommend exactly how we need to organize our constitution and our democracy going forward.
APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka, it was a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you so much.